Welcome everyone to our Study Abroad podcast series. So, today we have Dhvani from CMU, Carnegie Mellon University, and she's from Surat. So, we'll be knowing about her journey from Surat to CMU. So, welcome, Dhvani.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Yeah, okay. We have some standard set of questions we'll be asking you and discussing some cross questions from those discussion points. Okay, so Dhvani, I see that you studied at VIT, Vellore Institute of Technology for your bachelor's. So while you're doing this 4-year bachelor's there, which year or which was the time when you decided that okay, now I should think about going abroad and probably not stay in India and go for higher studies. So what was that wow moment for you like?
So I had decided that I wanted to do masters before I even joined the bachelor's because VIT had like a degree in cybersecurity as well. But at that time, I decided to do just core computer science, and I knew throughout the 4 years that I will be going to US for masters. So I prepared my profile in such a way that it would help me go to CMU.
So pretty much all 4 years you were preparing
Yeah,
your profile to go abroad, right? So what
yeah.
were the things that you were doing, let's say special that other batchmates might not be doing? What were the differences in your career path in the college?
So I knew that I wanted to do my master's in cybersecurity. So all the courses that I took or the electives that I took were related to that field. And even the projects that I did in those courses were related to that field. So like AI could be applied with cybersecurity so that my profile is based on that. And that helped me build it up more because I did not have like work experience to show for the field.
So were you also focused on your CGPA from the very day one that you knew that a good CGPA is needed and whereas most people in first years get distracted with the new environment and all since you already had a goal that you are going abroad and you probably knew that CGPA is one of the factor of getting in. Did that prevent you from getting a little less distracted or the other way around?
Yeah. So in the first year, I wasn't that focused because I had still just gotten out of school. But after that, I ensure that it should be above 8 or like 8.5. So I'll try to keep it in such a way.
Okay, so that's like one advantage of having a clear goal that you make sure that some of the things are in place at least, even if not everything 100%.
Yeah.
So that's a good point for our audience also that if you have decided to go abroad, it's better to maintain a good CGPA and like stay
Yeah.
consistent. Did you also like do internship research projects while at VIT as a profile building exercise?
So I did not get a chance to do internship, but I did have, I think, 6 or 7 projects under different faculties, specifically in the area of cybersecurity or something related to that, so that it helps build the profile as such.
Sure, sure, sure. And like in your third year, probably at some point you would have given GRE, TOEFL, IELTS,
Yeah.
etc. How were those exams for you, and which all exams you gave?
So I gave GRE and TOEFL. GRE was a little more prep. So math side of it, if you've done engineering, that it kind of covers that. I had to work on the verbal side of it. And so GRE, and after that, TOEFL is simpler because you've already done all the prep in GRE itself. So I gave my GRE in my third year, and TOEFL I gave in my fourth
And this was valid. The scores are valid for how many years as of now?
year. For GRE, it's valid for 2 years. For TOEFL, I think it was valid just for 1 year.
Okay, okay. So you already planned like that, like the
Yeah.
duration, etc. Okay. So after GRE, TOEFL, and you had to apply to universities, so you would have made probably selection of some universities. How many universities did you apply to, and which all countries in your case?
So I had only applied to US and I applied to 7 universities, and I followed the safe, moderate, and ambitious university so that I had like a higher chance of getting in. And I applied to University of Texas Dallas, Georgia Tech, NYU, University of Boston, University of Maryland College Park, Duke, and CMU.
And did you get offer from more than one college, or how was the
Uh,
final selection?
so I didn't get into Georgia Tech, except for that I got offers from all the six.
Okay, so CMU was obvious choice for you out of the six, or you had any
Mm.
confusion?
So CMU was like ranked one in my list, and I, before applying, I didn't know how chances were, but it was in my ambitious list, and I just wanted to like keep it there. Like if I get in, then that was the only university I would go to.
So you manifested your dream, which became true. Okay, so after doing all this, you got your final offer, you had a selection. So after that, probably there was a visa, flight, and accommodation things that you had to sort out. So how was your visa application process, the interview and all? Could you throw us some light?
Yeah, so for so once you get your I-20, you just have to give like provide a financial document to show that you still have funds for the entire project. And I already had a tourist visa. So for me, I didn't have to do any interview. I just have to give my I-20 and my documents. That's it. But some of my friends did have to go through the interview, and it wasn't that hard. Like, I don't know anybody who got rejected. I think which college you go to matters. So if because it was CMU, none of them got rejected like during the visa interview process. Coming to accommodation, I think we just found houses on Zillow and like looking at landlords and seeing that it's actually there, because you do get scammed somewhere. So you need to ensure that it's a it's an okayish housing. And but I think on Zillow or different websites you can find housing easily.
Yeah, sure. And so you were able to find housing and roommates quite easily, and you just verified with the like by seeing the video, etc. And then you paid like an advance, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, we had to pay the security deposit before coming to US. And for the roommates, I just found them because like once you get accepted into the university, you'll probably have like groups or like webinars. Then you can just find people there, so that same university students are in your housing.
So did you choose university close to campus or a bit far, or how was the location decided for you?
Pittsburgh has like a really good public transportation. So for me, it was I think 15-20 minutes by bus. So even if it's a little far, public transport is good. So I think it'd be easier to travel.
You mentioned you already had the US visa, right? So you have
Yeah.
been to coming to US for a while, is it?
No, so I haven't come to US, but we just had like a tourist visa. We were planning on coming, but then COVID happened. So yeah,
Oh, okay, but anyway,
yeah,
that was like a good advantage for you then.
yeah,
Okay. So and the visa was 10 years probably, B1, B2.
yeah, yeah, 10 years.
Okay, okay. So that would have eased your like anxiety also a bit maybe
Yeah.
because you didn't have to go through all the visa. And how did you book your flight? Which flight did you take to come here? And how was the flight journey?
So I took British Airways, and because it has like good luggage allowance, and I think it was pretty smooth. And some flights do have like student discount, but British Airways was coming to be cheaper, so I just took British Airways.
So you had a stopover in London.
Yeah, Heathrow.
This was your first international trip, or you had other international trips, other places?
Yeah, I had multiple international trips, so I didn't have flying anxiety. And at Heathrow, it was just like I think 2 or 3 hours of a layover.
Was Heathrow like one of the big airports? Did you get
Yeah.
lost a bit, or you had to change terminals? Something like that happened?
Yeah, I did have to change terminal, and my first flight was delayed. So I was in a hurry to, catch the train and go to the next flight. And it is pretty big, but I was fortunate that the terminals I had to travel to were quite near. And because I had like 3 hours, I reached in time and had to board the other flight.
And were you traveling like alone, or you had any other person going to the same college or same location or something?
No, I was traveling alone.
So you are confident enough to travel alone. Probably your
Yeah.
parents were also confident enough to send you alone, etc. So those were not any, there were no hurdles like that, right?
Yeah, because I had been like going to VIT, like flying like since the 4 years. So that's why I did not have that anxiety.
And when you took this flight, like to London, 8 to 10 hours, and then another 8 to 10 hours probably, and you landed in Boston, or where did you land?
So I landed in Philadelphia, and but there's also an international airport in Pittsburgh. So a lot of people from CMU prefer to land in Pittsburgh.
Okay, and then from
Yeah.
Philadelphia to your accommodation, how was that? What is the duration of travel?
So my uncle lives in Philadelphia, so I stayed at his house for a couple of days and then went on to Pittsburgh. From Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, it's a 6 hour car drive. So we did that to get to Pittsburgh. But there's
Okay,
also,
so
again, you can take a domestic flight.
your uncle drove you, like the family came
Yeah,
to drop you. Okay, I think that was also one
yeah,
ease thing
yeah,
is for your parents, or like for you also, that okay, there is somebody to pick me up at the airport, and there's like a local guardian
yeah,
kind of thing. So that would have helped also in your application process also
yeah.
probably. Sure. So once you landed in your accommodation, once you got into your accommodation, so there were probably few cultural shocks that we observe for study abroad people, that you have to do your cooking, cleaning, washing all by yourself. How was that settlement for you?
It did take some time that after a long day of study, you still have to go home and cook something and like wash the utensils after that. And it did take a few while to, but it helped me become more independent that everything that you do, you're responsible for that.
Yeah, sure. And when you are doing all this, did you use any pro tip, like cook for one time and eat 3 times, or eat 3 days or something like that? Do you do anything like that?
Yeah, I did do meal prep. So I would like cook 2 or 3 meals together, like in big quantities, and like probably freeze some of it so that it's easy, at least for the first semester. It's easier that I have home cooked meals every single for lunch and dinner.
And but you cook every day, or like alternate day or something like that?
So because I like meal prep, I just had to cook like 2 or 3 times a week. And like I would either make noodles or sabji and just freeze it.
Okay, okay. So some things you freeze it, and then some things you cook
Yeah.
maybe every now and then. Okay, sure. And when you went to your college, the classroom and the professor, etc., the very first few days or first few weeks, any surprises, shocks you observed with VIT versus CMU?
Yeah, so like firstly, professors asked us to like just address them by their name, which for me it was a little difficult. Like I'm still not able to. Then they were really friendly and like you can just have a normal chat about random stuff. It does not need to be academic only, and I think they were a little friendly enough that I could approach them for any troubles I had. So yeah.
Any anti-cultural shock, like you expected more other country people, but you got some more Indians or Indian origin people, something like that happened to you?
Yeah, so there is a large population of Asian students even in my department. I think majority of them were from Asia, but I was fine with it because I made a lot of friends even from different parts of India, and we kind of like stick together. So,
Sure, sure, sure.
yeah,
And there is one more difference, like very big difference in US and India education is the placement services that is offered by college.
yeah.
So, in foreign countries, developed countries, usually you have to hunt your own job, etc. So, an internship. So, how was that journey for you? Like, how did you manage to get any part-time job, internship, etc. so far?
Yeah, yeah, internship process was like a little difficult because you had to start applying. I think when you just land, you're supposed to start applying then, but I did not. I started late. I did manage to get an internship and I worked at ADP through the summer. But it is very much that you're responsible to find your own internship or like work. There are career service department who help you with your resumes or, they can help you prep. And they did let us know of the timeline that, as soon as you land in August, have your resume ready. But we were still in kind of phase that, oh, it'll be easy. Like once we get there, we'll get it. But yeah,
Sure. So, you just finished your internship, or you like
yeah.
it
I
was
finished
remote
it
internship?
last week.
You were, I mean, you went to office, or it was like a hybrid or remote internship? What was it like?
It was a hybrid internship, so like 3 days in office and 2 days at home.
And which place did you go to? Like any other location, Pittsburgh only or somewhere outside?
So I moved to New Jersey for that. Internship was in New Jersey, so I stayed there for I think 10 weeks.
Okay, okay. And how was that internship experience for you? Because you said that you couldn't do any internship during your bachelor's, so this was probably your first internship that you did.
Yeah,
How was this work culture like for you?
it was actually pretty great, and I did get to learn a lot of skills and connect with professionals and how it actually works. And I think even my studies helped a lot in like because I could catch up with what they were saying. But yeah, it was in overall it was a good experience.
So there are some part-time job culture also for students. They can work like 20 hours or so in campus, off campus, depending on the visa they have. Anything you tried or anything, any experience you got from your friends, etc.?
I did do a part time, but I did like I think 7 or 8 hours. I was like a math tutor for elementary school kids, and which was remote. A lot of people also do TA-ship, uh, where you can work like 20 hours with a professor, and it's also good to put in your resume. And other than that, there are jobs that you can find like in like a cafe, gym, or library inside your university.
Sure, sure. So ample opportunities to
Yeah.
make a side income, like a side hustle, etc. Okay, sure. And what's your aim for like next few years? You have thought about any plan? Like I think you said in VIT you made a very advanced plan. Like after 4 years I'll go abroad. So here do you have like 3 4 years advanced plan as such?
Now I don't really have that much of an advanced plan. Now my plan is to kind of like explore different places in United States and like work because I don't have that much of a work experience. I'm still like finding my niche, like which department do I want to go in. So I think right now I'm just figuring it out months at a time.
So just like your internship, you have to apply like almost 1 year in advance. For the job also, probably you have to do the same. Is that something you are starting or started or will start like in soon?
Yeah, I need to start the job prep because my internship just finished last week. So now I'll start the job application soon because I graduate in December. So I just have a few months.
Oh, okay. So you started like from the winter semester, like January to December, is it? Or yours is like two and a
No,
half hours roughly?
it is 1.5 year subject course. Sorry, degree. So yeah. So I
Okay,
started in
okay.
fall and I'll graduate in December.
Okay, okay. So like 3 semesters and
Yeah,
one summer break. Okay. Sure, sure. So, okay, I think all the best for your job hunting then. I think again the same thing will happen. You have to do your everything by yourself, just like your
yeah.
internship. Okay, sure, sure. So, coming to our last question for you, do you have any tips for the juniors who might be, or your VIT juniors or India
Hmm.
juniors who are maybe thinking of going to US, things that they should keep in mind, maybe some things that you knew, others didn't know, or the other way around also, something that you know or others know but you didn't know and you could have probably got a better tip from someone. So anything like that you would like to share to our audience?
Yeah, so one is definitely like plan ahead, and because you need to build a profile, you need at least 1.5 year, 1.5 year. Second is like grass is not greener everywhere, so like ensure what you're doing. You have a career path in US or any country you go to as well. I think if you want help, then just reach out to the seniors from that universities. They're more than willing to help. If you get like a personal tips and advice, then it's easier for you to go on to that university. So definitely reach out to seniors, and they're very much willing to help. Yeah,
Yeah, so reaching out to seniors could be the very
yeah,
first hand fresh mentoring rather
yeah,
than maybe other information like online or like expert counselors maybe because their information
y-
might be slightly outdated at times.
yeah,
Okay, okay, Dhvani, very nice knowing about your experiences and your insights on your study abroad journey, and we hope that our audience would learn something from your experience, and probably some of them might contact you on LinkedIn and all. So feel free
yeah,
to help them out whenever
yeah,
you have time.
definitely.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Dhvani, take care then. We'll be in
yeah,
touch through LinkedIn as well. So bye
yeah.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.